Hunters, the Clever Boys. Maviravira taking on the Clever Boys. What can happen? The Clever Boys haven't won a game. But Scotland looking set. If they win, they could jump up to number 3 on the log. We'll also keep you updated on what is happening elsewhere. It was a nice stadium. The Sporting Eagles, Agama, take on Dimbare. We will keep you updated on that one. At Ngoni, the Panthers, Moors, take on Amakosi Amahle. That's Bulawayo Chiefs. That's the other one that we will keep you updated on. At Nyamunga, Gwenyare Chamembe or Kawia Turu take on the Gem Boys. Manika Diamonds will also let you know. ZPC Kariba versus Manika Diamonds. Right. As always, our 2 experts from ZBC TV Sports, they are here. And let's say hello to Werder Bremen man. His team could only manage a draw yesterday against Wolfsburg in the German Bundesliga. Let's say hello to Uche Achiford Mundava. Uche, what a match.
Thank you so much, legendary CNN, and to Zimbabwe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from on the Global Village. Yesterday, we put the late one, CNN. We managed to beat Wolves by 1-0. Oh,
did it? Oh, I thought it had ended goalless. I never checked. We couldn't beat Blackburn Rovers, but we held them 0-0. Yeah. And let's say hello to Liverpool fanatic. He is Coach Bex. He is the president of the Zimbabwe Soccer Coaches Association, Bekimpilo Nyoni. Well,
things didn't go according to plan. Good afternoon, CNN, as well as Zimbabwe, all over the country and the world.
Okay, of course, Liverpool coming across there against Brighton and Hove Albion. Hove. Right, that's what we are bringing you. I did tell you we'll keep you updated on the other 3 games. But Maviravira are the defending champions. They didn't start off like a house on fire, but they haven't lost yet. One of only 5 teams who haven't lost. Caps United, of course, the only team with a 100% record. And, of course, Ngezi Platinum are second. Simba Bora at third. Did you ever think that Ngezi Platinum would be second? But that's the story. But if Dynamos win at Wazanai Stadium, they jump up to second place behind their arch rivals, Caps United. Right, Uche, Maviravira. They really have to start going. But I'll tell you what, before Uche gives us his response, we will join Vava, that's Valentine Mabugu, who is there at Rufaro Stadium, Kumpiles, Kuseri Kwembare Msika, you know, just to give us a full of the game. So, Vava, there you go.
It is a very good afternoon and a hearty welcome to Rufaro Stadium for the continuation of Matchday 4 of the Kasalaga Premier Soccer League. Yesterday, we were at this same covers where the players became the artists that painted these same covers and, of course, gave us that entertaining match that was between Caps United and Hard Rock. Caps United prevailing by 2-0 in that encounter. And today, this theatre also plays as a canvas for the artists that are going to be partaking in today's match, and it pits the defending champion Scotland being the home side taking on the new boys Hunters FC this afternoon, and the players who own this turf and make it an harvest and become the artists that define how this match is going to be like. This is going to be a match that presents us with an opportunity to see how strong Scotland are this season, and of course how Hunters, the new boys, can fare amongst the big boys. They have had the toughest starts to the season so far. And of course elsewhere it is in Norton where Moors, the worst Bulawayo Chiefs, whoever wins that one goes above the other, so that's another crucial encounter. In Shamva it is of course a Gama that haven't found a goal and haven't found Also 3 points or a point into the league so far. The new boys struggling. They face a determined Dynamo side looking to maximize and get maximum points. Also taking place in Kariba. It is ZPC Kariba hosting Manica Diamonds. Themselves haven't found the net, haven't also gotten any points on the board, being part of the 3 teams that haven't had points on the board so far. That is the Triangle, Manica Diamonds, as well as Agama this season. And those are part of the matches that we have for you, and we'll be monitoring those. But for now, tell you what, we are almost ready for the analysis and to hear what the coaches had to say as we link you up as well with Charles CNN Mabiga, the legend, as he takes us through the analysis of the first half prospects of this great encounter. Let's take you to the studio for that and much more.
Thanks so much, Vava. There's the setting at Rufaro Stadium. Right, we are going straight into it. We are just waiting to find out how the 2 teams arrived. Of course, first, we were waiting. As soon as we have that for you, Scotland arriving first, and the Clever Boys FC Hunters arriving. Oh yes, they were playing the Northern Region Division 1. They were playing in the Eastern Region Division 1. That's FC Hunters, and they won it. That's how they won the ticket. As we take a look there, as Maviravira arrive in grand style. The defending champions, like I said, they were hoping to start like a house on fire, but it didn't do like that. But Uche, it's still early days yet, as we see perhaps the most expensively assembled outfit in Zimbabwe football just disembarking from their luxurious coach.
Rightly so, legendary CNN, as we see Scotland disembarking there. And the coach is spoiled for choice, but if you look at players at his disposal for his first 11 today, Shidolo Moses is part of the proceedings. Kevin Moyo has now come to buttress the defensive act on the left channel. Then Muduva Peter is also there. You can see they are neat jerseys in the changing room. They are raring to go. Charge Nelson will be between the sticks today for Maviravira. And they ought to win this one, CNN, because look, they are on points. They are on 5 points. So if they win this one, they will then go on 8 points. But what makes this interesting also is that Scotland hasn't tasted defeat thus far. Hunters also hasn't tasted defeat thus far. But the major undoing for Hunters is that they were just having draws. What is also interesting, legendary CNN, is that if Hunters prevail over Scotland, then they will leapfrog them in terms of the Premiership standings.
As we see the Clever Boys arriving at Rufaro Stadium, FC Hunters, the champions of the Eastern Region Division 1 last season, now mixing it up with the big boys. And they've got a couple of players, many of the players who were deemed as rejects by Norman Mapeza at Scotland, and they have joined FC Hunters, the newcomers from the Eastern Region Division 1. And, Coach Bex, they are finding out that it's definitely tough joining the big boys in the Elite League.
Yes, definitely they are finding out that it's not easy. It's very, very, very difficult. And also, I think we should take into account they didn't have long enough pre-season because they had this agreement has to be done later on. They were preparing for Division 1, then they found themselves preparing for Premier League. So they were slow in starting the pre-season. That on its own, I think, might be the factor which is affecting them. But at the moment, I think they have done very well, taking into account the 3 games. They haven't lost a game. They've managed to collect 3 points. The 3 points might not be enough, but I think what they've done enough. When you look at the team which they have, who had Premier League experience, they've got Tona, Press Tona, they have they've got King Nadolo, Vusimuzi Ngwenya. They also have got Premier League experience, and they have got a young player whom they got from Essex Academy, Benjamin Goliath, who have held himself in the first 11, which tells you that this young boy is a talented boy. I know he was captain for the Eagles.
Sorry to butt in, Coach Bex, as we take a look at the warm-ups there. We start, of course, with the home team. That's Maviravira. And yes, I'll stay with you, Coach Bex.
Yes,
And,
number 11.
yeah.
Number 11. Who is that? Billiard. Billiard.
Seems to have found a new lease of life.
Yes, scoring 2 goals during
yeah.
midweek. So he's just one player who hunters are going to be watching to say, please don't give him any half of a chance, he will destroy you.
That's right. His critics were already describing, already inscribing the epitaph on his tombstone. That's Kama Billiard. But like a phoenix, he has risen from the grave. That's Emmanuel Ziocha. Yes, remember him the other day scoring against Dynamos in the Challenge Cup.
Also scored against Triangle during midweek.
Three
and I
goals.
think that's how he has cemented his position. He came as a reserve for the Ngezi Platinum game. But now I think after Triangle, he has cemented his position. And
Captain Walter Musona is there as well. Walaza, he is there as well. But his elder brother is not in the starting lineup. Probably injured. We haven't heard officially. The smiling assassin not there. But Emmanuel Ziocha, they call him Mola B. That's Emmanuel Ziocha. Born and bred in the high-density suburb of Mbare. And he is going great guns at Scotland. And can the clever boys, FC Hunters, match up to Maviravira? Well, like Coach Beck said, they've got players who have got Premier League experience. As we see them warming up, Uche, can they rise up there to the standard? They've got Denver Mukamba on the bench. So, you know, they're not short of Premier League experience.
Yeah, the experience is there, legendary CNN. And just to answer to the issue of Knowledge Msona, he is a part of the proceedings today, and he's on the bench for Scotland. But if you look at the players who are warming up there for Hunters, you have Praise Tona, Vusimu Zengwenya, had a good outing last season with the Dynamos, and if today he is in good form, I think he can also give the rear guard as well as the middle of the park of Scotland some anxious moments. Then Russell Shifura, also a good player, coupled by Benjamin Goliath, who earlier on Coach Bex was referring to, a very, very good striker. And this is the grand stage, and this is the time for him to prove to fellow football enthusiasts that I'm here to make a name. But a 4-4-2 formation for Hunters, vis-a-vis a 4-5-1 that has been taken by Nomara as he faces FC Hunters. What makes it interesting also, CNN, is the fact that a lot of players, like you alluded to earlier on, for Hunters are rejects from Scotland. So they want to prove a point to Scotland.
Right, okay. Right, are you ready? Are you ready for it? Now, we take you into the coaches' minds, the gaffers' minds. And we start with Scotland FC head coach Muchina Majuzi, Norman Mapeza, followed by the head coach of the Clever Boys, Yabo Nesbet Saruchera. Take a listen. Just waiting there. We're just waiting to link them up.
Our massive win at Gibbo. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Our biggest challenge today, I think, will be fatigue. Because the pitch at Gibbo was heavy. There was a downpour just before the game. So with the traveling, we didn't do much. It was just about managing our recovery periods. But look, we are ready for the game. I spoke to the boys. Let's go out there and apply ourselves well, especially on those key aspects of the game. Otherwise, with the traveling and fatigue, definitely we are going to struggle. But we are ready for the game. We're going for the game.
I can't cry over the 3 draws we managed to get. The fixtures were not easy, but I give credit to the boys. They fought very hard to collect those 3, but it's high time we must also collect the 3. So we are looking forward to collect our first 3 set of points. I've got replacements for the young boys since the season is still too young. We have registered 30, so the replacement is already there. So it's job well done.
You heard Yabo saying there, a job well done. He's looking forward to collecting his first 3 points of the season. Yabo, hey, Temba against the defending champion. But you see, yeah, Msaseke, Yabo, trainer. We will see how that one pans out, but it's going to be a hard job indeed. These are the defending champions. I know they are in 6th position at the moment. Number 6 taking on number 13, but it's early days yet. But listen, don't tell that to the Caps United supporters. They'll tell you, you've already won the league title. Right, as always, I ask the experts their predictions. Yesterday, they didn't get it. Let's hope that they get it right. Let's start first with Uche.
It's a tough one, but maybe 1-0 to Hunters.
1-0 to FC Hunters.
Yes, to FC Hunters.
Wow. Uche Mamunzwa, 1-0 to FC Hunters, the clever boys. Coach Bex.
2-0 to Scotland.
2-0 to Scotland. 2-0 to Scotland. But Saka Indopin, Saka Nauti draw. 2-2 draw. Mavira 2, the clever boys 2. We will see how that one pans out, but it promises to be quite something indeed. But like I said, we'll also keep you updated on what is happening in the other centers. We've got a game at Wadzanai Stadium. We've got a game at Nyamunga Stadium. We've got another one at Ngoni Stadium. We will keep you updated there as we continue this exciting start of the Zimbabwe Football Premiership. Well, it's not full, it's not up to the brim, but Uche, I think the two teams will be happy with that turnout.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy with that turnout. And what makes the game also interesting is that the confidence of Hunters is unbelievable. Look, they are saying we're champions in day one. Yes, we're champions in the Premiership, but we've not lost a game in the Premiership. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. And the humility shown by Mapeza is something else. The respect. But Yabo was bulldozing through to say, well done with the boys. We've already picked the 3 points. I love the confidence.
Very confident.
Very confident. Yabo. Yeah, and also I think Hunters have got a very strong technical team, because I think they've Darlington Dodo is the assistant, and he had worked with Norman Mapeza last year at FC Platinum, so that knowledge which he knows about Norman Mapeza will help a lot. Then Goredema also comes in from Golden Eagles, so they've got a strong technical team.
Right, let's see the teams trooping out of the dressing room. That means action will be here with us, with you in a short while. So, what are we waiting for? Let's take you over to Rufaro Stadium to join our two colleagues in the commentary box. We'll be talking to you at halftime.
Manica Diamonds away from home, winning by 3-0. For FC Hunters, it hasn't been an easy start. 3 goals with no win, 3 draws rather, without conceding and without scoring. My name is Tendai Swanda, and besides me is Spencer Nyamazawa to give you expert analysis.
Yes, it's a very good afternoon. Of course, Hunters FC facing a mammoth task against Scotland, the defending champions. Can Scotland bag 2 wins in a row after having won against Manica Diamonds in Triangle in Chisumbanji? Let's see how they can do it against FC Hunters, who are also looking for the first victory of the season. They are yet to score in the 2026 Premiership. I mean, their debut season, but they're yet to score. Let's see if they can get a goal this afternoon and get 3 points to cap the day for them.
The defending champions under Norman Mapeza for the new season have had a quite slow start, playing their first game of the season at the newly opened stadium, Chawanda Stadium in Kwekwe, where they played to a goalless draw. Now we are about to see Mapeza and the team moving out of the dugout, and it means it's time for serious business. Second game of the season, they played here at Rufaro Stadium and Notam Sona, the captain, managing to find an equalizer through a penalty. Last game was against Manica Diamonds at Gibo Stadium, where Kama Billiat, after being trusted to start the game, playing 2 on the bench and coming in, managed to beg a brace, and Kingsley Mureremba coming off the bench to add the 3rd one. Now for Nesbit Saruchera, with most of the boys he came with from Division 1 football, hasn't changed much, with only one notable difference, which is Woody, who got a red card in the previous encounter. One team with a galaxy of stars, another one with a mixture of experience and a number of Division 1 football players.
Yes, indeed, they've got a mixture of experience and Division 1 players. As we see the 2 teams walking out of the tunnel.
So those are the players moving out of the dugout, being led by the match officials for the day. Ronald Chinyani will be the center referee, followed by the first assistant, who will be Edgar Rumeki. Mulungisi Matutu will be the 4th official, Todd Matenga, and Brighton Nyika. So Scotland will be in their all blue, who will be taking on FC Hunters in black and gold, playing away this afternoon. So we now wait for the national anthem of Zimbabwe to get us underway for what is going to be an exciting 90 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the national anthem of Zimbabwe. And if you're just joining us, this is the live broadcast of Matchday 4. And once again, I welcome all fans of football across the world, fans of football in Zimbabwe, and fans of the Kasolaga Premier League. The stage is set for these 2 teams to try to fight for 3 points. Scotland under Norman Mapesa with confidence after gaining a total of 3 goals and 3 points from Manica Diamond. Nesbet Saruchera with FC Hunters haven't managed to get a total of all 9 points that's available to him. Now that's the the Scotland captain, Walter Msona, together with Praise Stoner, going through the toin course to decide which side, either side, will be attacking. So there's a confirmation of the center referees and the match officials. Not a changed 11 from Roman Mapeza from the side that played at Gipo Stadium. Kama Billiat being awarded with the second start of the season after begging that brace. He scored in either half. Chajga Nelson retains his spot between the sticks. Shidolo Moses taking charge of that right flank. Twala Kwake, the man that came from Insingizini. Kevin Moyo and Mudua, the trusted centre-back pairing. Abubakar Moffat, probably the exciting midfielder in Zimbabwe as it stands. Other midfielders are also contending for that. And we look at FC Hunters, Kevin Shangiwa, Bothwa Unzori, Rasmali Chipango, Junior Mayer. The only change, two notable changes, Benjamin Goliath, who comes in for Michael Tapera, and Huni, who got a red card against FC Platinum. So these are the trusted sides by either managers. And in a moment of time, Ronald Shinyani will be taking us through what is a Sunday fixture, Matchday 4, here at Rufaro Stadium, the ceremonial home of football.
Yes, indeed, the ceremonial home of football. Scotland wanting to make it 2 wins in as many weeks. I mean, having won the first game of the 2026 season against Manica Diamonds, and FC Hunters with 3 draws, looking for their first win. As the debutants, also looking for their first goal this season. They come up against a tough team, full of experience, full of great players. That's Scotland for you.
So Scotland will be attacking from the left flank, will be attacking from the left side of your screens, going to the right. And FC Hunters will be attacking from the right, going to the left in their black and gold. And Ronald Shinyani takes us through. Drukamanja, another player that missed probably the first 2 games of the season due to an injury, is back and he has started 2 consecutive games in a row.
Well, I think Norman Mapeza is just rotating his team, and it's early days. You need to manage experienced players like None Jimsona. Just give him a breather, and the 2 that have replaced, Kama Billet is equally good enough to do the job.
So rotation of players, also saving legs. Knowledge Msona, another player who started 2 out of 2. Now the last 2 fixtures, including this one, will be starting on the bench. Just shows you the depth and quality that Scotland and Norman Mapesa do have.
They've got enough arsenal to carry the day. As we see Scotland just passing the ball in the middle of the park.
Jugamanja. Walter Msura cutting inside. Options, so many numbers in the box. Walter Msura. Is that a penalty? Too early, but Ronald Chinyani says no foul. Norman Mapesa there also asking the same question. Tokosi Simsebe being brought down, but maybe a soft challenge earlier in the game. Now Emmanuel Ziocha. Finished the season last year, the 2025 season, as an exciting player with a considerable number of goals and assists. That earlier incident, Tokosi Simsebe.
He took too long on the ball there, and the defender doing a great job just stealing the ball away from the striker.
So Benjamin Goliath was the player that brought Simsebe down to the ground, but there was not sinister challenge to make Ronald Chinyani consider giving Scotland a penalty in the early stages of the game. Now Shangiwa, playing against his former paymasters, was with Moors in the Northern Region Soccer League, got the most expensive transfer. Ziocha trying to cut it back. Zukamanja looking for options, plays it back to Abubakar Moffat. Moffat with an attempt from a mile away, just trying to set the tone earlier into the game. but there was not so much to cause any problems for the defenders and for Kevin Shangiwa.
But you like the intention, the way Scotland is playing. I mean, as the watcher, with a good ball, picking up Abu Bakr, and Abu Bakr, the left foot is weak, his weaker leg, you want to say, not really getting the target, but the intention was good.
Now FC Hunters will be playing first time going into the final third. Now King Nadolo, Tadiwa Chibunyu, an exciting player, creative player for Nesbit Saruchera and FC Hunters. Finished in the Division 1 league with almost 14 goals to his name. He was contending for the top goal scorers, accolades with Agama forward Grey Kufandada. Playing from the back, FC Hunters. A pull up from Shangiwa. Siocha almost there to steal the ball. So Kevin Shangiwa will try to play it from the back to restart play. King Nadolo, so many men on his flanks.
He's one much travelled player, played for Caps United, the Highlanders, Simba Bora. Now turning out for FC Hunters. He brings wealth of experience with him, nomadic player.
Wow, that means he's quite exposed. He has seen a football in Zimbabwe. Now Abu Bakr Moffat, Jukamanja, the ball just being played behind him. Now Benjamin Collier being played through, but Shidolo will be keeping tabs on him. Cross into the box. Emmanuel Zinyama. Now Walter Msona, the skipper for the defending champions, plays Kama Billiard.
Good to see Kama Billiard back. I mean, he was battling with injuries that were keeping him out of the game, and being managed by Numan Mapesa, playing a few minutes, but good to see him. He's on the mend, and let's see what he can bring to the table. He's already scored 2 goals in his last encounter.
So far, just under 4 games, Kama Billiard stands as the leading goal scorer for Scotland with 2 goals. It's still early in the season, but just 2 goals will bring confidence from a player that hasn't seen much action. Now Billiard on the left side. Walter Msona, known very well from taking shots from distance. Remember in the qualifiers, the World Cup qualifiers against Nigeria, a thunderous free kick that left the net bulging. He can do that, but this early attempt was not exactly one of his best strikes.
Yes, he's one player gifted with technique of hitting the ball.
Chidolo usually plays as a midfielder, but Nomen Mapesa so far has trusted him and deployed him as a right back. Good chest control. It's just a player down after Scotland tried to clear the ball away and ended up hitting Fosimo Sungwenya probably on the chest. On the head, sorry. Fosimo Sungwenya was with Dynamos last season, very instrumental in their survival. A dynamic and fast-paced player, but changed colors now with FC Hunters. Mtogosi Simsebe, Tsukamanja, but they concede possession. Billiard. who decides to play it back. So far being the man who's trying to drop deeper, playing in a similar fashion as to what Knowledge Msona usually does when he's trusted to start games. Just shows you the quality that these two veterans do have, playing in a similar fashion to each other.
Yes, indeed, they do bring in a wealth of experience and know how to control the game, the tempo of the game. And I can just tell you, fixtures lined up for today. Moors are taking on Bulawayo Chiefs in Norton. Then ZPC Kariba taking on Manika Diamonds at Nyamunga. Agama are hosting Dynamos at Shamba. And the one we bring into you live in the comfort of your home, it's the home team Scotland taking on FC Hunters.
Now this afternoon, these are quite favorable for conditions for a game of football. Remember, in a midweek fixture against FC Platinum, it was raining and pouring. Probably not something that FC Hunters found playing in their favor, but it's a dry afternoon, so which means their passing game will be coming into fruition this afternoon. Now Junior Mayer losing position to Abubakar Moffat. Moffat driving forward. Siocha will wait for Shidolo. Shidolo driving inside.
Not the best of crosses from Shidolo, but it was a good move, good interchange of passes.
Now Goliath playing Chibunyu. Quick exchanges, but they do lose the ball. Chibunyu, not steady defeat so far. So after the midweek fixtures, we saw a lot of downpours. Seems to be a clear. It's quite good that to see that the pitch is dry, allowing both teams to knock the ball around with such comfort. But just looking into the 10 out this afternoon, not so many numbers, but it's good for football. Maybe in the early numbers, as these are equally new sides, despite Scotland being a defending champion. But for FC Hunters, maybe they want to see how they fare, and later on they'll start coming in their numbers.
Absolutely, a decent crowd that came to watch the game. I mean, you've got your Scotland faithfuls and your Agama supporters and your Loyal supporters. I mean, Caps United had almost a full house here yesterday. I mean, they are playing well, they are winning games, and the good days seem to be rolling back for Caps United, and the fans are starting to believe, and they're starting to come in their numbers.
Well, it's all about belief. Play the football, win, and you win the hearts of fans. So playing Goliath through, not so many numbers in the box for FC Hunters, and Nelson Charger being tasked with his first duties this afternoon. Now that's the Scotland hierarchy. There were a lot of changes during the off-season, but they are there. Zukamanja now playing on the right flank, just knocking it comfortably between him and Ziocha. Slow start to the game, I believe. Not so much tempo between the two teams.
I think they're just pacing each other up, knocking the ball around. Good exchange of passes from both teams. Are witnessing a nice play there by Shidolo.
Shidolo now Kamapiliat playing Wotamsona, just failing to keep up on his feet. But the first touch from Kamapiliat was not too intricate. Probably the reason why they started in initiating that attack.
Walter Musona is one player you fancy, you'll take that ball on its first touch. I think it just bounced. He tried to use his touch to control that ball and just rolling over the ball.
Well, for a man who can strike the ball quite well, will be disappointed with how he failed to control that. Sebe almost losing it. Goliath initiating a high press. Quite different from how they played during the midweek fixture. FC Hunters against FC Platinum, they were quite reserved, not initiating a high press, but this time it seems like they want to take the ball quite higher. trying to force Scotland to make mistakes, maybe.
And that's the way Nisbet Sarchera sets up his team. I mean, usually he wants his teams to really have control in their own half and just not give the opposition a chance to attack them.
Tugamanje being played by Kama Billiard. Walter Msuna looking for Kwake. So stoppage and play, a foul that goes in favor of FC Hunters. FC Hunters, remember, they've played 3 games, they haven't won any of their games, but still they haven't conceded. And earlier on we were talking about that man Kevin Shangiwa. It was the difference against Caps United, against FC Platinum, I beg your pardon, kept them in the game. So many attacks that he managed to keep out. Brilliant goalkeeper.
No, he's a brilliant goalkeeper, and he's the reason why they haven't conceded a goal, and is the reason why they've got 3 points. He's played his part. Despite his strikers not scoring goals, he hasn't conceded any. He's doing a great job of keeping the sticks clean.
So crossfield pass looking for Goliath. And Goliath just overpowering Shidolo. Limping Shidolo. And Renaud Chinyani just wants to make sure that the game is played clean and safe.
Moses Shidolo, the Namibian international.
Now this is something that you always want to talk about. The number of foreign internationals we have playing in our leagues.
Yeah, we've seen our league grow from strength to strength, attracting players from different countries, and just shows how our league is growing from strength to strength.
Peter Mudua, another experienced player. So Kwake Twala from Eswatini. Ziocha. Tukamanja now, can he manage to get to it in time?
Good goalkeeping by Kelvin Shandiwa, averting the danger.
Too quick, Kelvin Shangiwa. Shidolo losing position. Now Nadolo. He makes amends. Zioche. The last time they played here, Nelson Chajiga conceded what would be a goal that you don't want to remember. Gezi Platinum finding the lead. A very, very serious goalkeeping error from Nelson Chajiga. But Norman Mapesa has kept his faith and his trust in him and hasn't dropped him.
Well, I think he brings stability in the back four. He brings confidence to the defenders. He's a very good goalkeeper. I think mistakes are part of the game.
Well, it's always scary to make mistakes when you have a good squad like Scotland. You never know when your time is up.
Yeah, that's the danger of making the mistake.
Bubaka Morford now playing Ziocha, 2-man in blue. Taking their time. Scotland not playing quickly enough. There's not so much agency in their football. They are indeed getting into the spaces, but there's a lack of agency, not so much speed in their game. Now Twale Kwaka.
The final ball in the box isn't bringing out the best, and they need to try and work on that, and if they can work on that, improve on that, they can increase the chances of getting a goal.
Peter Madura standing his ground. Abubakar Moffat with so much space, being allowed to roam around freely. So it's Norman Mapesa's game, isn't it? To just try to reshuffle play.
That's former Diamonds captain Desmond Marikwa, president of Footballers Union of Zimbabwe, alongside Terence Malunga, former Ghana's captain.
So that's the Hunter CEO, also part of the proceedings. Now Mtokosi Simsebe plays Kama Billiard. Billiard to Shidolo. Shidolo with a first time cross, but it was out in a goal kick. So frustrated figure, Norman Mapesa always wants things to work perfectly well. Billiards. Now Walter Msona crossed into the box, looking for Tuka Manja. Or was just not the in time. Oh, the final ball is the difference this afternoon. They haven't managed to put on a perfect ball to make the change in the score line. Before the game, Nesbet Saruchera was talking about how he won't be crying over spilt milk in regards to how his team hasn't scored and how his team hasn't managed to get a single win. And he says this is the game they'll do their best to get the 3 points, and he's quite confident. Spillier just trying to lay it off for his captain.
Yeah, I mean, Nesbet Sarshira and his team, they need to get goals because not looking good. Was it these early games that you need to pick up points when teams are still unsettled? Because when the teams get into the groove, it will be difficult to pick up points.
Well, he was quite bold when he was asked about the red card Wuni received against FC Platinum. And he says we registered a total of 30 players, and it means the youngsters are ready to step up. And now, Nadolo not arriving in time, but Chachka was also quick to get off his lines. Quick football. Ball pinged forward for King Nadolo.
Yeah, the game just lacking a bit of pace and agency. Both teams just comfortable knocking it at a pedestrian pace. But let's see how it continues unfolding. I think a goal will really ignite this game.
Oh, Kamabiliet laying it off to Otomsona, who wants to make sure that his shooting boots are on. And now Shidolo cross into the box to Kamanja. Kamabiliet, sorry. Third goal in a row. 2 against Manika Diamonds. 1 against FC Hunters.
Good cross from Shidolo, and you don't leave Kamabiliad unmarked there. And Kamabiliad with a glancing header, giving Scotland the lead. The much needed goal from Scotland takes away the pressure, allows the team to relax. As we can see, the fans enjoying. The cross was good, and the glancing header, nothing the goalkeeper could have done there, Calvin Shangiwa.
What a cross from Moses Shidolo. Preystona just losing concentration there, not seeing the run of Kamabiliad. Comes in, puts in a perfectly orchestrated glancing header, pits Kevin Shangiwa, pits the post, makes it 1 just under 20 minutes.
You don't give too much room and space to a player like Kamabiliad, he will punish you, and FC Hunters will punish. Let's see how they'll respond after conceding this goal.
Well, maybe this goal will set this game alive. The question is always how will the defending team or the team that has just conceded respond. Remember, this is a team that hasn't conceded in 3 games. In under 20 minutes on match day 4, they have conceded.
And what a good goal, good build-up from Scotland FC. Shidolo with a perfect inch cross that was well taken by Kama Billiard.
Kama Billiard again, playing with confidence. Almost the third time we've seen him flicking the ball. Heel pass. Shidolo proving the much needed assist to give this game some life. Walter Msuna. Kwakitwala just making that darting run in space, but Walter Msuna decides to go back. So if they go on to win, FC Platinum will end the game with 8 points out of a possible 12. Now score updates: Moors and Blaoy Chiefs in Ngoni Stadium still 0-0. ZPC Kariba leading by a goal to 0 against Manika Diamonds. And then Agama, the debutants, against Dynamos are still 0-0.
Yeah, Manika Diamonds really finding the going tough.
One thing about this 2026 season is that the teams that are really playing good are playing good, and the teams that are really struggling are really struggling. Really difficult to find some middle ground. Kama Billiard just repaying the trust that Norman Mapes has given him. 2 starts, and he has 3 goals in 2 starts.
I think a fit Kama Billiard will always deliver the goods.
Well, Mose found the back of the net against Blaoy Chiefs at Ngoni Stadium. It's still ZPC Kariba 1 and Manika Diamonds. Now Goliath cutting inside, who tried to shoot, but Shidolo coming in. Wayward shooting, not expected under the circumstances from a team that's trying to respond. Fusamwenya. An exciting young player for Simu Singwenya. With the jersey number 66. It's probably his lucky number. Mtsokosi Simsebe plays it to his left flank where he finds Kwakitwala. Tukamanja. Kwake. Simsebe with so much green. Simsebe to Mudua.
They are happy to knock it around, just, wanting FC Hunters to break shape. They are patient on the ball. Scotland just comfortably keeping position. And this is the typical type of play that Nome Mapeza likes.
Well, the idea is to pass and break shape, pass and gain ground, not to just knock it around without finding rhythm and reason to pass. Quickly taken. Abubakar Moffat, the recipient. Msebe dancing in that midfield. Shidolo. Well, just look at how further up these 2 centre backs are playing for Scotland.
They're actually playing like the defensive midfielders.
The last line of defense playing further up the pitch, trying to add numbers going forward. Now Walter Msuna. Msebe. Shidol. Zioche. Kwakitwala being allowed to operate with so much room and so much freedom. Now Kama Billiard.
Looks like all the home teams today have scored a goal this afternoon. More scoring against Blair Chiefs, Scotland against FC Hunters, ZPC against Manica Diamonds, Agama against Dynamos. Dynamos trailing by a goal to nil in that encounter.
Well, remember, Blair Chiefs are happy to be back in the Casalaga Premier League. They stayed in Division 1 football by mistake, and this is exactly where we belong. It's good to see them back. Casalaga Premier League missed their vibrant mood they bring on social media and in football circles. So 28 minutes have been played here at Rufaro Stadium. Scotland are leading by a goal to nil. They have the lion's share of possession. They have been knocking the ball around with so much comfort, dominating the midfield. Good play from Shidolo. Zioche. You would have thought he was going to play the ball into the channel. Now Shidolo looking for numbers in the box. Maybe an opportunity for FC Hunters to build something. Shidolo also good defensively.
Yeah, FC Hunters really need to get the act together. The likes of Praise Tona, Wisimu Zingwenya, Tadiwa Chibonyo need to really come to the party in terms of winning balls in the middle of the park.
Tadiwa Chibonyo is quite the creative player, but so far this midfield partnership of Abubakar Moffat and Msebe not allowing the opposition to roam freely. They're keeping so many tabs on him, which is difficult this afternoon for FC Hunters. Goliath has been so far the most visible player playing on this left wing, Benjamin Goliath. Trying to play Rasa Uchifura through.
And all the attacks for FC Hunters have come through Goliath. I think he is pushing forward, looking for those opportunities. As we see the goal once again.
Now Junior Mayer continuing. Oh, what a beautiful skill. Junior Mayer to Goliath. Now Goliath still on his foot. And he loses his balance. In 10, it's a goal kick. Good combination between Junior Mayer and Benjamin Goliath. Bringing the left channel, the left flank alive, or to life. So confirmation of the score. They come Abiliad scoring in the 20th minute. Manuel Zioche. Zioche just giving the opposition a throw in. Zukamanja. Kamabiliat to Zukamanja, not the perfect layoff. Now Goliath again. Kamabiliat initiating his defensive skills too. Now Biliat trying to play it through. Goliath. Chibunyu is just trying to dink it over the defenders to find the run of Benjamin Goliath.
I think Benjamin Goliath not on the same wavelength with Chibunyu.
Well, it's all about chemistry at the end of the day, and it's something that hasn't reacted well for FC Hunters. But good run of play, just trying to keep the defenders busy. Nesbet Saruchera went for two strikers this afternoon in Raso Chifura and Benjamin Goliath. Also good to see that Benjamin Goliath can play as a wide attacker. Moffat back to Chajga. Zioche. to Nelson Churchga. Sebe. Abubakar Moffat evading danger. Now Walter Msuna will play to Zukamanja. Kamabiliat again.
Good ball there from Walter Musuna to pick up Kamabiliat and the goalkeeper. The difference, otherwise it could have been 2-0. Calvin Shangiwa with a good save, but the awareness, the presence of Kamabiliat just to get in front of the defender. Look at how Kamabiliat just went in front of the defender, out jumping the defender, and Calvin Shangiwa pulling up a good save.
Well, the exchange in runs by Zukamanja and Kamabiliat confusing this FC Hunters defense. And one moment you're marking Zukamanja, one moment you're marking Kamabiliat. Corner comes in.
But you like the technique from Walter Musona, the way he strikes the ball. I mean, that was a perfect cross that came through.
Kamabiliat trying to get a fourth of the season and a second of the game. Well, he's not the player you would expect him to be getting on those aerial balls. But this afternoon, he has his jumping shoes on, and he wants to get on every cross that is coming either from the left or from the right.
I mean, that's the wealth of experience we're talking about. The presence of knowing where he is and what he needs to do.
So FC Hunters miscued. So Junior Mayer. Oh, good fit. Junior Mayer. And Chibunyu trying to link up play. Kamabiliat.
Tried to pick up Moses Shidola. The pass wasn't the best.
Good player there. Straight when he came back from South Africa after having not played for 8 months, it was a surprise move that he went to play for Yada. Only one season where he almost finished the season with 10 goals.
I mean, Kamabiliat, Knowledge Msona, as well as Walter Msona, all products of Aces Academy. I mean, Knowledge and Kamabiliat had not played in the Premiership. They went straight from Aces Academy straight to South Africa, where they went on to play well. I mean, for Kamabiliat, they had a small stint with Caps United, should I say. Only Knowledge Msona went direct to South Africa, and a good outing at Kaizer Chiefs.
Knowledge himself playing on the bench for the second consecutive time this afternoon. I believe he's going to be introduced later by Norman Mapisa. Jugamanja and Walter Msona linking up play. And Tokosi Simsebe looks for Abubakar Moffat, who is free this midfield. Shidolo in playing as an inverted winger, almost coming into.
It's because the FC Hunters are not posing any danger. You can see Shidola is actually playing like a defensive midfielder, but he's a wide left, he's a wide right.
But remember, naturally, Shidola likes to operate in the spaces. Now, Shidola, Kamabiliat, Ziocha, Shidolo, Ziocha, quick exchanges, looking for Walter Msona. Zukamanja collects. Ziocha, Walter Msona trying to cut inside. Will look for options. Cops out of it. Looks like he's offside.
Walter Msona took too long to release the ball, and the fact the right call from the assistant to blow offside.
Oh, that's the alley across from Shidolo that found Kamabiliat. And with his trademark celebration. A man who admires Cristiano Ronaldo, no wonder he celebrates like that. Chibunyu. Now, FC Hunters, a crossfield pass looking for Benjamin Goliath. And Shidolo is big to defend. So far it's been a clean game, not so many fouls.
And a good crowd, a decent crowd by the standards of these two teams.
Obviously.
Not really crowd pullers, but Scotland, the fancy ones, they draw some crowd also.
So cross it to the box. Nelson Charge got collect.
And that's one area of his game I really like. Nelson Charge. He gets off the line. He doesn't stay on the line. He gets off the line, gets to the 16-yard box, takes away the pressure from the defense by coming out for those aerial balls.
It's a dream for any manager to have a goalkeeper who's commanding in that penalty area. You want a goalkeeper that can cut crosses, that can read the game. That's Knowledge Msona in your pictures. I believe we'd want to play. Look at the colors from FC Hunters. Reminds him of his time in South Africa playing for Kaizer Chiefs, the black and gold.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think good work there by Norman Mapeza. Just, get him to rest, rotate the team, and he's got the arsenal to rotate his team. And the team that he threw on today, they are doing their job. So far, so good.
So 38 minutes have been played at Rufaro Stadium. Scotland leading by a goal to nil. Courtesy of a header, glancing one from Kama Billiard. Well, if it continues like this, it means Nelson Chechika almost losing the ball. Benjamin Goliath. Mishek Ngwenya losing it too. Now Walter Msona to initiate a counter charge. Ziocha through on goal. Ziocha. Here's Tukamanja. He plays him through. And a weak pass from Emmanuel Ziocha. Could have gone at goal alone, but decided to play provider.
I'm not sure why he tried to go to pass to Walter Msona. He should have taken a crack at goal. Even the bench, they're not happy with that decision. He should have taken a crack at goal. If these goals will count at the end of the season, there we see Walter Msona stealing the ball. Good work from Walter Msona. And pushing forward, picking Zwocha. And Zwocha with the keeper to beat, wanting to go for the pass. He should have taken a crack at goal. Bad decision. And
Walter Msona, the captain, stealing the ball from Amishek Ngwenya in their defensive third, initiating a counter charge. Ziocha played through. He had the goalkeeper to beat and decided to provide an assist. A tame effort of a pass, which ends their efforts in vain.
There was no need for him to try and pass. Even the bench, they're not happy with that decision. He should have taken a crack at goal. Why want to pass the responsibility to the next person?
Well, confirmation of scores at Ngoni Stadium. Wars have conceded and Blair Chiefs have found the back of the net. 1-1 it stands. ZPC Kariba still leading against Manika Diamonds. Not an easy start to the season. Agama leading Dynamos by a goal to nil. Well, the picture is out of your view, but Norman Mapeza frustrated with that earlier run. Those Scotland fans.
That's beautiful. The Scotland fans coming dressed in the team colors. Again, there we see that chance. Zwocha, not sure why you passed that ball. Take a crack at goal. Have a goal also registered to your name.
Well, remember Ziocha was probably the top assister last season. And now that Scotland are finding the back of the net, maybe he wants to continue from that.
Looks like Moors have taken the lead again.
While Moors finding it easier to score at Ngoni Stadium. Also a stoppage in play as Calvin Shingiwa is just getting some medical assistance. The aerial view, we come a Billiard opened the scoring. Shidolo with a pinpoint cross. Now Shingiwa is back. Problem with his right wrist.
mean, FC Hunters have not done enough to really trouble Scotland FC. And the score updates: the Moors leading Blair Chiefs by 2-1. ZPC Kariba still leading Manika Diamonds by goal to nil. Agama still leading Dynamos by goal to nil, and this one will be a shocker should it end this way. I mean, Dynamos had really picked up they really started to playing well.
I remember the season is still in its infancy. So Abubakar Moffat earlier considering a foul. So 43 minutes have been played. 2 minutes left in this first 45. I think it will be a mix of emotions for Norman Mapesa heading into the halftime break. Frustration and happiness. Maybe on 3 occasions that Scotland could have doubled the lead, but it's still 1-0.
You know what, I've just picked up especially this.
Now Ziocho playing it to Tukamanja, taking his time. Tukamanja was looking for Wotamsona, but there was just a straight line of defenders in black and gold. Abubakar Moffat to Kevin Moyo. Trace Turner. Shidolo. Not the perfect clearance from Peter Mudua, a man who's so much comfortable on the ball.
Very comfortable on the ball, Peter Mudua, and can do so much. Looks like we will play 2 minutes of added on time after we reach 45, but FC Hunters, can they try and get a cross in the box and try and get a goal before we go to the break?
Now Kevin Moyo with a headed clearance. Mishek Ngwenya out-muscled by Kevin Moyo. Fusimo Singwenya played it to Russell Chifura. Fusimo Singwenya, not so many options available to him. Russell Chifura. Shidolo coming in clutch. So confirmation of the 2 added minutes. Now Zukamanja waiting for Kwaketwala. Abubakar Moffat to Zukamanja. Exceptional turn from Abubakar Moffat. Now Kamabiliad being played through. It's not offside. Just waiting for the ball to get to his feet. Wotamsona being played through. Togosi Simsebe. Animated dive from Togosi Simsebe.
Yes, indeed. And it was an offside position. Again, Scotland not watching the lines. It will be a free kick to FC Hunters. Under 40 seconds to play.
Kevin Shangiwa almost playing it to the fit of Wotamsona. Kamabiliat will allow the ball to run out of play. Maybe understanding that the half time is imminent.
That's experience there by Kamabiliat. Why rush when you are leading? Just run down the clock.
It's almost 18 seconds up until Ronald Chinyani blows his half-time whistle. Shidolo losing position. But it's Peter Mudua who's now charging in like a midfielder. Through pass to Kama Beliat. Beliat missing by a whisker.
Great play there by Peter Mudua, running through and just giving a defense spinning pass to Kama Beliat, who rushed his effort. He should have looked up at the goalkeeper and placed his end. And that kick from Kama Beliat brings the end of the first half.
Well, that earlier chance from Kama Beliat not finding the perfect execution to beat Kevin Shangiwa once again. So Ronald Chinyani will take us to half-time. That was the first half. Scotland lead by a goal to nil. Kamabiliet scoring in the 20th minute. And it's been an excellent and quite slow first half. But going into the half time, your thoughts, Spencer?
A good game of football, I think, being played at a pedestrian pace, should I say. Scotland enjoying a lion's share of the ball, knocking the ball around. Hunters FC didn't do enough to trouble Scotland, and Scotland deservedly went to the halftime break, leading by a goal to nil.
So we go on a break, and we hope you stay tuned when we come back for the second half.
Is back.
Sabozlai to Salah. Liverpool are running away with it again.
And ZBC TV brings to you the Matchday action every Saturdays.
It may get even better for Manchester United. Ahmad! It's Palmer!
Catch all the action on ZBC TV.
Well, Kamaldinho is back, or is he? Well, he scored a brace in the game against Manica Diamonds, and he's just come and he scored the leading goal against FC Hunters, the clever boys. Well, they were not clever that time around. Well, their captain was not, Praise Stoner, because he left Kamabiliet unattended, and Kamabiliet did poetic justice to that cross by Moses Chidolo. So 1-0, the defending champions are leading. And yes, we can also update you on the halftime scores from right round the country. At Ngoni Stadium, the Panthers, Moors, are leading Amakosi Amahle, Bulawayo Chiefs by 2-1. Chiefs had actually come back to make it 1-1, but the Panthers regaining the lead. At Nyamunga, it's still Kawia Katuru or Gwenya Recha Membe, that ZPC Kariba 1, and of course the Gem Boys 0. The Gem Boys really struggling. And at Wadzanai, the Sporting Eagles, Agama leading by 1-0 over Dimbare. Well, as we take a look at the statistics of the first half at Rufaro Stadium, and Uche, the stats there.
Yes, thank you, legendary. Ball possession 60% to Scotland against 40 for FC Hunters. Then in terms of shots, total shots for Scotland, that's 7, and 4 for FC Hunters, with the 3 being on target there for Scotland. So the stats heavily tilted in favor of the home team, Scotland. They've been dominating, knocking the ball around with purpose, giving each player a feel of the ball. But I'm very disappointed by the display by Hunters so far. The coach had the oomph, the determination, the zeal prior to kickoff, but that did not translate to the players. They are not there. They are not there in the first half.
Yeah, if you saw, you must have watched that interview by Yabo. And Yabo, that's Nesbet Saruchera, that's his nickname. And he had said that he was feeling confident that they would get their first 3 points. But listen, we might have spoken too soon, because we've still got 45 minutes before us. And just to update you, remember, Uche had focused 1-0 to the clever boys, so he's out. Up for them game. Chibans, big person. And Coach Bex, did you say 2-0?
2-0 to Scotland.
2-0. So Coach Bex is still there. And I'd said 2-2. Sakandichiri mom game, 2-2. That's what I said, 2-2. Right. We will wait to find out. So, Coach Bex, the highlights will be coming through in a moment or two. But Coach Bex, as we prepare to take a look at the highlights there, I was just saying, Coach Bex, what does Yabo need to do in the second half to come back into this game, because they are severely dominated?
I'm sure what he has to do is to try to look, say in defense, they have been opened, I think, about three times. I think that's not good for the defense to be allowing to be opened like that.
As we see there, Coach Bex, I mean, but Scotland were dominating all over the clever boys.
Yes, Scotland were dominating, and the way it's been, the ball is being switched from right to left or left to right. That on its own shows the team is really doing well in terms of control in midfield. They've got total control, and when going up front, they are giving their opponents a lot of problems. And their defense is also, if you look at their wing backs, the two wing backs, Sidolo and Kwaki, they are always going up to support as much as they can. So they end up adding more numbers. And a player like, if you look at Billiard, mostly he goes to wings, but unexpectedly you find him at the center. Then Zukamanja does the same. Billiard and Zukamanja, they are the ones who are causing a lot of problems. Look at that. I think the best what Zwocha should have done was just to hit a shot. If the keeper was going to save, that could have been something else. But I think he thought twice before he decided, and that pass was a bit on the weaker side. The pass which he gave was a bit on the weaker side, and the goalkeeper was very alert. We need to give to the goalkeeper. There you see again, Billiard had looked up and saw where the keeper was. It was at an angle, and he tried to put it to the far end. Unfortunately, it didn't go in.
Yeah, they were all over the clever boys, Vira, where they've always been. And it came as no surprise when Moses Chidolo came in with that great assist. And it was met by Kama Billiard doing what he does best, just finishing and hitting the back of the net. I mean, it could have been reading.
Look at that Abu Baga.
Yeah.
I think he's almost the Jurao for Scotland on the midfield.
Yeah,
in front of the
midfield,
defense,
very strong,
and going up front. Look at that, passing past two defenders at a time. I think he's doing very, very well.
That's right.
He's doing very, very well, and I won't be surprised to see him maybe when we go for AFCON in September, finding himself being a part of the national team. That's what we're looking forward for. Those who are doing well need to be rewarded.
We'll see what Mario Marinica thinks. So far, Abubakar Moffat hasn't caught the eye of the Zimbabwe Warriors head coach, but he has been playing so well so far for Scotland, and a lot of people are already describing him as the best midfielder in the country at the moment. It's early days yet, some people might say, but he's having a fine outing ever since. This is match day number 4, and he is shining, really controlling that midfield for Vira. And of course, he was partly involved in that goal after it came from him, and then Moses Chidolo provided the great assist for Kama Billiard. And you know, that goal, if you have a look at it again, Uche, it's not an easy goal to score. Only masters like Kama Billiard can score, because he was running, wasn't he? And he took it on the run. Great stuff.
Not an easy goal, legendary CNN. If you are just to describe how it happened, Shidolo came with a cross on the right channel. Billiard was running from the left channel with his back at goal, but somehow he managed to connect and beat the goalkeeper. So going airborne at full speed with the goal behind you, it requires some aerodynamics, not from a normal human being, so to speak. But
probably studied that from the great CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo, who scores goals like that, Ronaldo. And Baona celebrate Aguneta Kama just like CR7. If he scores, and if you miss that one, well, catch our reverse plays, and if you don't, if he scores another one, watch out. That's how he celebrates. That's his hero, the great CR7 Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, the Portugal captain, who will be once again at the World Cup. And he says this one definitely his last World Cup. Yeah. Well, staying with you, Uche. So in the second half, if you're Muchina Majusi, I know he wants probably to go for a goal avalanche, goal harvest. But what does he need to guard against this clever boys side?
For Mchina Majuzu, if you look at the first 45 minutes, the 4-5-1 formation has worked very well. They've been dominating, but what is lacking is precision in front of goal. There should have been 3 or 4 goals up. The double D-link of Mtokozi Zimsebe as well as Abubakar Moffat is working very well. I know people are excited, especially Coach Bex, about Abubakar Moffat. But for me,
he wants him in the Warrior squad.
The player who's doing all the dirty work there for me is Mtokozi Zimsebe. He's the silent killer there. He's thwarting those red, then giving the balls to Abubakar Moffat for that free roll. So for Mchino Majuzu, precision up front is required. There should have been 2-3 goals up there. Kama Billiard been bit a bit unlucky the 2 times, as well as Zuka Manja. So for Mchino Majuzu, fantastic display so far, precision lacking up front.
And you know what the goal standings are saying? If Dynamos cannot come back against Agama, and if Scotland do win by many goals, maybe 3-0 or something, that pushes them up to second, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, they go
pushes
second
them.
to Caps United.
Yes.
So that's warning bells for the Green Machine supporters, although I know right now the Green Machine supporters, as soon as I say that, legendary, legend,
Uriwe Dynamos.
that's what they will say.
Yes.
But you see, we will see what happens. Dynamos can still come back, and they will jump behind Caps United. And well, we will be crossing back. And just to remind you that Uche Abuda Udara, Uche Bozangati 1-0 to FC Hunters. Coach Bex Achirimo 2-0 to Scotland. In the Chirimo 2-2 to Scotland. So let's go and find out which one of the 3 of us here will be correct as we rejoin the guys at Rufaro Stadium, Kumbiles. We'll be talking to you at the end of the 90.
So welcome back to Rufaro Stadium for the second 45 minutes against Scotland and FC Hunters. The first half was rather slow, but with Scotland opening the scoring through Kama Belliot with an emphatic header, a glancing one to beat Kevin Shangiwa in the 20th minute. Now we are going to be witnessing the second 45. And Spencer, if we are to change things for Nisbet Saruchera, what do you think he told this Hunters man?
Well, I think they need to push forward, need to also cause problem to Nelson Chachka, which they didn't do in the first 45 minutes. And looks like Nesbet Sarchera is bringing in 2 players at the halftime break.
So that's Elonga, the experienced striker. Also had a couple of goals last season in the Northern Region Soccer League. And Elder Chirima will be coming on also. He played his debut here against FC Platinum. Quite an exciting player, Elder Chirima. So it's a double substitution, Ilunga and Elder Chirima, to make way onto the pitch, waiting to see confirmation on who it is that they're going to be replacing.
Yes, let's see if these substitutes can transform FC Hunters. Certainly they needed to do that. That's Lunga and Chirima preparing to come in. We'll confirm with you who they're coming in for.
So while they do say the first half is for the players, and for Scotland they've done their bit. Now for Hunters, it was quite a disastrous, or rather a lackluster first 45. Now what will Nesbet Saruchera with his assistant managers try to do, as this one is up to them? So now confirmation of the substitution board. Benjamin Goliath, surprise substitution.
That's a surprise substitution. I mean, he's the guy who was carrying the day for FC Hunters. I'm not sure if he's injured, but to me that's a surprise replacement.
Well, Benjamin Goliath was doing his beating on the left flank. He was causing all sorts of problems, but also he was being marked by an experienced Moses Chidolo. So Russell Shufura will be replaced by Auda Chirima, 2 players that know FC Hunters through and through.
Let's see how these 2 players will fare. That's Elder Chirima as well as Eli Ilunga. Let's see if they can bring that agency and creativity for FC Hunters, who are yet to have a shot on goal in this encounter. The whole of the first half they didn't have.
So Ronald Chinyani will take us through the last 45 minutes here at Rufaro Stadium. A bit of confidence. Chibunyu playing it to Ilunga, his first touch of the game since being introduced. Nomen Mapesa, a man who never looks like he's pleased with what he's seeing, always wants more.
Ever demanding and always pushing the players. I think that's the attitude you want, but sometimes players, they get to relax.
Well, maybe if you're a player who doesn't understand your gaffer, you would ask yourself, what else does he want me to do? So Nomen Mapesa hasn't made any changes, still satisfied now. That's Nesbit Saruchera.
And Darlington Dodo, experienced assistant coach there.
Also, the first assistant that he got from Golden Eagles, Arthur Gorejena. It was another surprise change. He was doing so well with Golden Eagles, but I mean, when a good team calls wanting you to manage a team in the Casalaga Premier League, you have to leave whatever it is that you're doing, and we see him assisting Nesbit Saruchera.
I mean, for him it was a no-brainer, it was an upgrade, and wanting to also improve this project.
Obviously, still in its early days, this FC Hunters project. Abubakar Moffat with a high boot. But Chinyani is still lenient. I've been laughing with Busimu Singwenya. Singwenya will play to Botu Onzori. Rasmali Chipango. Kevin Shangiwa.
I mean, he also played for Scotland. I mean, he was a pivotal team member in the championship winning team.
Well, remember that title charge for Scotland. Moors were in the mix, and he was now the goalkeeper that was trusted to be between the posts, and he was very pivotal. And when you talk about that title winning team, we also have to include him, the Kevin Shangiwa.
Yes, he played his part, and now turning out for FC Moors, Nelson Chajiga coming in, an experienced goalkeeper, and doing well, as we see the free kick committed on the far end.
Well, talking about goalkeepers, Scotland do have an array of wonderful goalkeepers on their benches as well.
Not only Scotland, Zimbabwe is blessed with talented goalkeepers.
Some playing abroad, some playing in Zimbabwe. Even in the English Premier League as well.
I mean, you've got Prince Tafure Mutsa is another exciting goalkeeper.
Well, first attempt of this second half coming in from FC Hunters. That is Elder Chirima. Walter Msona playing it to Kwakitwala. Terence Tsukamanja, the man who played for Super Sport, played for Orlando Pirates, and now he is here in Zimbabwe.
He is a very seasoned campaigner and a very good aerial, and also can take crack at goal.
So Walter Msona will take the first corner kick of the second half for Scotland. Walter Msona, good delivery, and look at who it is. Kama 4-2, 2 for Scotland.
And look at the smallest player on the field, rising up high, heading the ball past the goalkeeper. Kama Billiard, back at his best. Is he trying to roll back the times?
Kama Billiard jumping higher than the FC Hunters defenders. Glancing at her once again, a perfect corner kick coming in from Walter Msona.
Again, you wonder what the defenders were doing there. I mean, being the first to the ball, and the defense once again caught napping, and Kama Billiard with 4 goals this season. in two games.
Spencer almost short for words as to how come Billiard can be the player that scores 2 headers when you have defenders like Preystone defending for FC Hunters. Dejection for the team in black and gold. Elation and celebration for the team in blue. Scotland lead after 50 minutes by 2-0.
And those fans enjoying every moment of that. Back-to-back braces from Kama Billiard.
Kama. Oh, what a player he is. It's been fantastic this afternoon.
He's already sitting on 4 goals. And if he stays fit, we'll have to see more goals from Kama Billiard.
And I'm Togosi Simsebe. Well played to Walter Msuna. Crossfield pass. Looking for Kama Billiard, who then jumps higher than Mishek Ngwenya.
And who's on a hat-trick now?
Mario Ziocha. Ziocha being bundled down by Vusimu Singwenya. So Walter Msuna not giving the pass the much needed power. Chibunyu looking for Junior Mayer. Peter Mudua.
He's very strong on the ball and look at it. He gets the crowd pumping. Peter Mudua for you.
Well, he plays for Scotland as one of the 2 experienced centre-backs. The Scotland faithful looking at proceedings with such poise.
Dressed for the occasion.
Now Kelvin Shengiwa. Definitely wondering what is going through Nesbit Saruchero's mind at this point in time. 3 games he played in the opening fixtures, draws, he didn't concede, he didn't score, but this afternoon he's playing against a man in fire that is Kama Billiard.
A rare attack there from FC Hunters. And that doesn't trouble Nelson Chajga Mawoko.
Moses Shidolo to Emmanuel Ziocha. Peter Mudua, ball playing defender, sends it forward. William Tokosi Simsebe was just being manhandled, and in turn he wins a free kick. Stu and Ambo stars on that Scotland bench. You look at Mtimba Nyoka. Still yet to play. Nathan Mtasa is another good player.
Nola Jumsona. Gurrab Isak, the striker.
Albert Manenji, who was pivotal last season as the left back under Tundera Indiraya. Remember, Kingsley Mreremba also scored against Manika Diamonds. Is yet to feature this afternoon.
God knows Murwira.
Zizo.
So they've got an array of stars on the bench.
Now Peter Mjua losing the ball. King Natolo looking for Ilunga. King Nadolo has been shut down this afternoon. He's quite a fast player.
He hasn't been given that chance and that opportunity to run at the defenders.
Oh, look at Walter Msuna.
Showboating.
Walter Msuna enjoying the response coming from the crowd as well. Kwake Twala playing Walter Msuna. Asmali Chipango being mad to make the mercurial player. Moyo. Played back to Nelson Chajiga, who hasn't had much to do. Quite a silent afternoon for him in office.
There we see ball skills from Walter Msona.
Walter Msona.
Take that.
Impudent, if you ask me, quite disrespectful.
Very disrespectful, I think, from the Scotland FC captain, Walter Msona.
Wale grew up in the dusty streets of Norton, but is now taking Zimbabwe by storm. From dreams to actually leaving them.
Walter Msona winning the league with FC Platinum, Simba Bora and Scotland. He's won the league with 3 different teams.
Such a CV. Good one. Fusimo Singwenya making it difficult for Kelvin Shangiwa. That had to give Scotland the advantage from Kama Billiard.
I mean, he's an experienced player. He's played in Africa, and he used to also do this when he turned out for Sundowns.
Almost winning player, African Player of the Year back in 2016 when he was at Mamelodi Sundowns. And now Kama Billiard will look for options. Trying to play Walter Msona. Walter Msona! Cool, calm, collected. He makes it 3 after Terence Tukamanja was bundled down. But he had the easiest job for a man who has his shooting boots on.
A man of that quality. Good play by Kama Billiard coming from the right flank. Tried to pick up Terence Tukamanja, and Terence Tukamanja was bundled off the ball, and the ball fell kindly to to Walter Msona, and Walter Msona said thank you and just picked his foot and scored at ease.
Wow, a nonchalant walk after scoring that. It's almost saying, maybe you thought I was not going to score that.
If they had missed that, it looked like it was going to be a penalty because there was a foul on Tukamanja. But Walter Msona doing great. There we see just a clip in the Tukamanja's boot.
Wow, near post that left a man that played 3 games without conceding. Wondering what is definitely going wrong this afternoon.
Walter Msona, 2 goals already this season. 1 from the penalty kick and the second one against FC Hunters, where he just placed the ball in the back of the net.
So his first goal came as an equalizer here at Rufaro Stadium. It was a rainy afternoon against Ngesi Platinum, and he took it.
Scotland fans they're now singing for the team, enjoying every moment of this.
So Scotland 3 after 58 minutes. Do you think Walter Nomen Mapeza is going to tell his team to maybe apply the brakes, save legs at this point in time?
That's not Nomen Mapeza for you. What he may do is rotate players, rest other players, and continue getting more goals. If he can get 10, Nomen Mapeza will want to do that.
Now comfortable on the ball, Scotland, against a team that is out of sorts this afternoon, FC Hunters. The Scotland hierarchy enjoying whatever they are seeing. Mr. Ngwenya. Walter Msona bringing it down, try to play Tukamanja. Now you see, when you score a goal like that and when your team is leading by 3 goals to 0, you start to try, you start to experiment.
I mean, that's where you start to train your confidence, get your shooting confidence back.
Now, Karma Billiard. Abubakar Moffat. Charging now. Cross into the box. Tukamanja. Too high for him, but Moses Shidolo will try to play one again into the box. And the attack dies down. Abubakar Moffat also darting forward. Wonderful marauding run on the left channel being played by Walter Msona. So now Kama Billiard, the man with the brace. Kwaketwala. Vusimu Singwenye, making sure that the pass finds Tadiwa Chibunyu. His brilliance is yet to be seen in this 2026 campaign of the Kasulaga Premier League. Together with a number of his compatriots, you talk of Rasa Uchifura, you talk of Elda Chirima, Evan Ilunga. They are yet to be given a platform to exude quality and excellence.
Good 10 there.
Mario Ziocha. Now Tukamanja. And I think Scotland will get a corner kick.
And you fancy Norman Mapeza will risk Kamabila just to, manage him. And I think with time to come, we should see, hopefully we'll see Norman Mapeza just giving Kamabila a chance to breathe and try and, as this game is.
So now Kingsley Mureremba will be coming on, a triple substitution.
Demba Mukamba coming in.
Denver Mundikumbuke Mukamba.
Chibonyu. Let's see what he can do. He's got a knack of scoring against Scotland.
Well, he does like to score against his former paymasters. So Vusimusi
when you're coming out there, Tendai. In comes Michael Tapera.
So in the midweek fixture against FC Platinum, Michael Tapera started the game, but this afternoon he'll be introduced in the second half and he'll be taking over the proceedings. So now Kingsley Mureremba.
King Nadolo also being brought out. Nyeradzi Mushanga coming in for King Nadolo. The men we were talking about, Kingsley Mureremba, about to be introduced. Let's see who will come in for.
So Kingsley Mureremba, a goal scorer in the last encounter at Gibo Stadium. It's going to be Terence Drukamanja who will leave the pitch for Kingsley Mureremba. Now maybe Kama Billiard will push further forward and play as a sole striker. Not a bad 63 minutes from Terence Drukamanja.
Yeah, I think he hasn't had the best of afternoons. But he's an experienced player.
Well, you were talking about saving legs and making sure that your best players are available during the course of the season, and exactly this is what maybe Norman Mapeza is trying to do. So now Walter Msona to deliver corner kick into the box. So Walter Msona.
Chance goes back in there by Moses Shidolo. I think it was a good corner kick again the defensive frailties of FC Hunters being exposed there. I mean, how does a striker get to the ball first when you guys are defending a corner?
Well, Moses Shidolo frustrated with his efforts, and rightfully so. Kama Billiard is now playing further forward with Kingsley Mureremba replacing him in that attacking midfield role. Mukamba with his first touch of the game. Denver, a man who's not new to Rufaro Stadium, was not new to Scotland too. He knows them through and through. Scored a brilliant goal against them last season when he was playing for Dynamos. Mishik Brenya. So now driving forward is FC Hunters, but Peter Mutua is just there to tame the attack coming in from the Tigers. Laking the biting teeth this afternoon. Good passes from FC Hunters. The new substitutes bringing in a new best of life. No offside is the call from Edgar Rumeki. So that's the corner kick. Shidolo pouncing on it.
Should have hit the target from that angle.
Well, he had Kevin Shangiwa conceded from 3 headers. He was going to be questioning himself.
But you also question the defense, because how are they allowing strikers to get to the ball first?
Oh, Kamabiliet just being nicked on the sheen. But he's okay, he gets back up. So the funny thing about some of these star players is on the field of play, they are very loud in terms of how they play, the quality. But you talk to them face to face, they are some of the most reserved players, almost shy.
That's being humble.
So Vusimu Singwenya, King Nadolo and Tadio Chibunyu being replaced by Denver Mukamba, Mushanga and Michael Tapera. Now Michael Tapera, the man gifted with pace. Had one of the most amazing goals last season, Michael Tapera, charging down from his defensive third and almost striking it just a few meters ahead of the center line. He was still with Scotland then.
And
the Skamabilia second of the afternoon.
the delivery from Walthamson was superb. And Kamabilia rising high and just directing his header towards goal.
So now I have Siantas. Elunga is just trying to lay it off. Now Ronaldo Chignani initially blows his whistle. A free kick in a dangerous area. Lunga being brought down.
And you fancy Denver Mkama will want to take this one here.
Denver Mkamba moving towards the ball.
Wow, that was a bad kick there from Walthamson. Lucky to get her without a yellow card, because he didn't play the ball there.
So now 4 players, including Walthamson, are standing around that ball.
They know what Denver Mkama can bring.
So now Good It Up will be making way onto the field of play. Kama Billiard has seen his afternoon come to an end after scoring a brace.
And I like this from Norman Mapeza. He knows that the game is almost put to bed and resting his key players. Kama Billiard just being put. Remember, we talked about this.
Well, so Good It Up will be given 20 minutes of play. Mutimba Nyoka, another quick player, will be coming on for Emmanuel Ziocha. I think Emmanuel Ziocha will be twisting and turning when he slips. He'll be asking himself, why did I not take that shot?
Not used to scoring goals, you guess.
Well, when your whole game is molded around assisting, maybe you don't lose sleep over it.
Can Denver Mkamba do some magic here?
So Denver Mkamba, Junior Mayer, and Emmanuel Zinyama Denver Mkamba hits the wall, goes for the second bite, but this time the cherry is not sweet enough.
Poor effort from Mundi Kumbuka, just crashing his effort against the wall, and the rebound was wayward. Confirmation of the scoreline. Scotland FC leading FC Hunters by 3-0.
Well, a good scoreline for Norman Mapesa, and his main confidence will be high as they move into the next match day.
Manica Diamonds in trouble in Kariba. They are down by 2-0.
Shot from a long distance. So Mnyaradzi Mshanga tried to pull one back for FC Hunters. Mnyaradzi Mshanga finding it easy to play now. Good it up with his first bit of play. Walter Msona, good it up, played through. There's Mutimba Nyoka in the box, but good it up loses his balance.
When it mattered most, we should have looked up. Walter Msona was lacking. Could have passed that ball to Walter Msona.
Michael Tapira losing possession. Denver Mkamba with a long throw. Michael Tapira, what can he do from this right channel? Mukamba. So now Moors still leading by 2-1 against Blayo Chiefs and Goni Stadium. ZBC Kariba leading by 2-0 against Manica Diamonds. Agama Football Club leading by 2 against Dynamos. If it stays like this up until the end of 90 minutes, 7 million fans are going to be disappointed.
They're definitely going to be disappointed, and the Caps fans will enjoy the Agama victory.
The goal that gave Walter Msona a second goal of the season.
I don't think he has scored easier goals in his life than this one here. He had the time to stop the ball and pick his spot. Cool, calm, composed by Walter Msona.
Almost similar to the one that he scored on the body end against Dynamos in the Castle Challenge Cup. Michael Tapera. So in match day 5, Tel 1 will be hosting Scotland at Ascot Stadium. Mshanga. Kamba finds Michael Tapera. Spango trying to look for Ilunga. He finds him. Then Mkamba again. First pass. Michael Tapera crossing into the box, and they do get themselves a corner kick. Good run of play this last moment.
Yeah, trying to get in the game, but it's a little too late. Ball just deflecting for the corner.
Well, Ilunga was not expecting that ball to come to him. So Tel 1 will be hosting Scotland in match day 5, and FC Hunters will be hosting ZPC Kariba. So that's match day 5 confirmed for you. A lazy and quiet afternoon for Nelson Chajiga. Twala. Good exchange of passes between Kwake Twala and Kingsley Mreremba. Timbanyoka to Shidolo. Doesn't beat the first man. The cross from Shidolo. Mukamba trying to turn back the hands of time with that. Bringing down off the ball. There's always been questions around match fitness when it comes to Denver Mukamba, but you are never sure of what he can do when you give him the ball.
I think he is one player who is a magician. He can do something whenever he gets the ball, but I think he just needs to continue working on his fitness.
So that's Stefan Mukamba, the man who made popular the Sunday offerings for Dynamos. So Elder Chirima with his first touch letting him down. Emmanuel Zinyama used to partner with Huni, who's not playing after he received a second yellow card against FC Platinum, but he will be back against ZPC Kariba, a man they dearly missed in this midfield this afternoon, against a side that tried to control and just pass the ball around. Elunga. Kingsley Mureremba. The pass to Gurirab, not a perfect one. 76 minutes left and almost having played in 14 minutes left to play at Rufaro Stadium.
Scotland comfortably leading FC Hunters. They have not been put to test, they have not broke a sweat.
So at the end of this fixture, if it does stay like this, and if FC Hunters do not find an equalizer or equalizing goals, Scotland will finish the day with 8 points, and they will be 4 away from the leading team, that is Caps United, who have started the season quite fantastic. Mukamba. Good control of the ball. Mukamba again. Just giving Gurira Berano of his money. He is a player that gets the crowds excited. Even if you're playing against him, you are sure to applaud whatever Denver Mukamba does.
But he's struggling for fitness, I tell you.
Action in the box. Maybe Nelson Chachka can be put to the task. Mukamba now. So there was Denver Mukamba sending Gurira to who knows where. Only the two of them know.
Yeah, indeed. That's Denver Mukamba for you. Full of tricks.
Now from a distance again, it's Michael Tapera. He has scored from similar positions.
And he was given so much room and he fancied his chance.
Well, he fancied his chance, but the execution was not quite the best of what he can pull out of his bag of tricks. So far, with almost 10 minutes remaining, now Ilunga brings it down quite well, but his right-footed attempt leads to them getting a corner kick. Maybe there was a deflection there, obviously.
It was a good defense work there from the Scotland player to just block that ball as it was heading towards the top corner. So it will be a corner kick to FC Hunters.
Wow, this is a rude awakening to FC Hunters. Their introduction into the Kasalaga Premier League. This is a game for big teams and big leagues. well, one thing you have to credit them for is you're not here based on selection. You play your way to the Casalaga Premier League. But when you get here, you have to stay and you have to compete like you belong. Emmanuel Zinyama was just running short of options. And Gurirab was finding it difficult to just maintain footing. And that final third, Chipango. And a tussle with the Scotland captain. Now Rasmali Chipango. An overcooked ball for him from Elonga. So fans
sharing some drink there.
Some beverages. Well, it's been a very slow last 10 minutes probably since the introduction of the likes of Denver Mkamba. Somehow stabilized the game and have taken away the tempo and the sting that Scotland were now coming in with.
Oh, could you say the substance that were taken off really slowed down the tempo of the game?
True. Now Williamson are playing to Abubakar Moffat, the man who has played all games for Scotland.
Good switch of play by Musona. Good technique.
He likes to show off there sometimes just to show you how powerful his right foot can be. Kwaketwala, a man that will be battling it out for that left back position with Albert Manenji, and also Zizo contending together with Mahoma Disaka on that right flank. But it's going to take a mammoth task to just take it away from Moses Chidolo. Oh, exceptional turn from Kingsley Mreremba. And now Ronald Chinyani blows his whistle. So now Wotam Sona playing it back to his centre back Kevin Moyo. Not the best cross-field pass to look from Timbanyoka. Ted from Kamba losing it to Gurirab. Gurirab, a touch too powerful. Now Michael Tapera always wants to shoot. Michael Tapera
and rushing his effort. He should have held play. There was the other player lurking on the far side. It was Ilunga. He was waiting for that ball, but Michael Tapera wanted to go for a spectacular, which came out poor.
Oh, the football is a funny way of telling you that you should have slowed if you try to hurry things up. Doesn't really comply when things are done in a hurried manner.
And I can tell you, in Shamba, Dynamos have equalized against Agama.
Well, maybe it was an eye. We were going to be witnessing Agama get their first win of the season. But Dynamos have come. Now, Wotamson with some showboating. In South Africa, they call it Kasi flavor. I wonder if we have a name for it here in Zimbabwe. Well, chose Mabika, if it were Pete and Love, we would have said Tsukuzonke.
The legendary CNN.
Well, Wotamson are just trying to bring some color into this game. It's a confirmation of scores. Ngoni Stadium, more still leading by 2 goals. Now Gurirab, here's some Timbanyoka, Gurirab! Weak attempt. Tim Kingsley Mreremba tried to go at it again. Good it up.
Good goalkeeping by Calvin Shangiwa to deny Gurlab as well as Mremba. I think Gurlab should have done better there.
Wow. What an opportunity wasted. And what goalkeeping from Calvin Shangiwa. Good it up there.
Did everything well with the keeper to beat. Just the keeper was lying. Should have looked up the keeper and just lobbed the ball past the goalkeeper. Look at him there.
It was a 2v1 situation.
And just chipped the ball over the goalkeeper who had gone down. And Mremba tried to come with the follow-up, but again the goalkeeper, Shangiwa, doing well.
Kevin Shangiwa with some heroic save to keep the scoreline at 3-0. Kingsley Mreremba came in to have a shot at it after Gurirab had been denied. A tame effort to beat Kevin Shangiwa by Gurirab. Shocked with that, and biting at teeth, that attempt.
Slipping away to the game. So Manica Diamonds, the only team not to score a goal this afternoon.
Well, Manica Diamonds, it hasn't been an easy start to the season. Remember, they survived by a whisker last season. Now Walter Msona, the skipper. And it could be an on goal.
Yes. So I was saying Manica Diamonds as well as FC Hunters are the two teams yet to score this afternoon. And FC Hunters, it will be 4 games without hitting the back of the net.
Well, it's only good when you are denying goals from getting into the back of the net, but when you're not scoring on the other hand, it becomes a problem. Now Kwaketwala charging into that 18 area. Kwaketwala not marked enough. Out of the corner kick. So now played it back instead of sending it into the 18 area. Peter Mudua and Kevin Moyo will exchange a CBs. The almost near perfect partnership. Now Kingsley Mreremba trying to turn Praise Tona. But Kwaketwala collects, loses it to Michael Tapera. Now Elder Chirima to Mshanga. Ilunga, Denver Mkamba, a man who very much wants to test goalkeepers. Mshanga. So now Chipango will try to find Michael Tapera. Now Chipango, and Chachka comes in, and good defending despite it being a foul from Peter Mutua.
And Chachka getting the benefit of the doubt, getting the free kick. The goalkeepers are usually protected. And
so a double substitution coming in from Norman Mapeza in these last 2 minutes. Plus added time, of course. Nathan Mtasa will be replacing Walter Msona as captain. And Manenji will be getting his first minutes this afternoon. Together with Kwaketwala, the 2 players to be replaced. Kwaketwala, a man who came from Nsingizini, down there in Eswatini. Albert Manenji, a man who's almost fancied by Marinika because of his big build. Surprisingly that he hasn't been called to the national fold as of yet. So Nelson Chachka back up in his feet to play the last minute and some added minutes, and Ronald Chinyani will confirm 2 minutes. It has been a quiet afternoon, so not so many stoppages. Chajga, high bird to clear it away. Mtimba Nyoka now playing on his left flank. Nathan Mtasa. Mtasa trying to make amends. Nathan Mtasa. Peter Medua. Kevin Moyo now with the captain arm spent. Mtokosi Simsebe. Mtimba Nyoka to receive. Albert Manenji yet to get a few off the ball. Now Gurirab brings it down perfectly and is offside. Almost 40 seconds of football left to play here in this Matchday 4 encounter at Rufaro Stadium. Scotland leading by 3-0. Ilunga and Albert Manenji finds the first touch. Now Mtimba Nyoka will do what he loves doing, going for pace. Mtimba Nyoka, Albert Manenji. Mtimba Nyoka just winding down time. Not much to play for, saves it. Now Kingsley Mreremba to Mtimba Nyoka. Mtimba Nyoka will try to cross. Tame effort from Mtimba Nyoka. And with that, Ronald Chinyani blows the final whistle at Rufaro Stadium. It has been a wonderful afternoon of football. Scotland and Norman Mapesa scoring 3 goals for the second consecutive time. Kama Billiard with a brace once again, but this time Walter Msona being on the score sheet instead of Kingsley Mreremba. Norman Mapesa will be pleased of the 2 managers. Wars continue for Nesbet Yabo Saruchera, but at the end of the day, the defending champions win by 3-0. Spencer, your thoughts?
Good work from the defending champions. Back-to-back victories with the same identical scoreline, 3-0, and starting to pick up points. And this will be a good win for Scotland, the defending champions, if they are to keep up track with the runaway Caps United. So for FC Hunters, I think it's still work to do. They are yet to get a goal in the Premiership, and if they don't work hard, and if they continue conceding so many goals like this, they'll find themselves being relegated. But good win for Scotland, who were not troubled much by FC Hunters.
Well, that's the end of our thoughts here in the commentary box. Thanks to Spencer Nyamazao for the expert analysis. It's been a wonderful afternoon of football. Until next time, I'm Tendai Sibanda. It's a goodbye to Zimbabwe.
Indeed, of course. So what an afternoon, what a match here. It is, of course, Scotland, the defending champions this afternoon. Triumphant, emphatically 3-0. Kama Billiard getting a brace in his second consecutive game as well as he did last time. And joining me right now is, of course, the Scotland gaffer, Norman Mapesa. Norman, good game for your lads today. Also, the goals are starting to trickle in for you. Kama Billiard also getting a brace in his second consecutive game. You must be happy. What's your overall assessment of the whole game today?
Yeah, it was a good game of football. It was a good game of football. If you look at what happened in the last few minutes of the game, of course, we were leading 3-0. So what was important was just for us to keep our shape at the back. They were trying, but what was important for us not to lose our shape. Then coming to Kama, fantastic. It was brilliant. The intelligence. It was just beautiful. Just beautiful. You know, those two goals, beautiful goals.
Would you say you're now happy with how your team has gelled and you found the right formula for you for the season to really flow for you?
Look, if you look at the opportunities we had in the first half, maybe it could have been 3-0. So that's where I'm a little bit worried because of those opportunities we are creating. We need to bury those chances. Let's bury those chances. Then maybe we can relax a little bit. But look, in terms of progress, massive progress from the boys, and after our long trip to Gibbo, coming back, you know, I was a little bit worried whether they were going to finish the 90 minutes, everybody. But look, they showed massive intelligence. They showed that physically they're okay. And well done to the boys. Well done to the boys.
All right, congratulations, coach. You can go enjoy with the lads for this win. 6 points in a week. That should be massive for you.
Thank you so much.
All right, great. That is the gaffer, Norman Mapeza, getting 6 points in 2 games within this week. And of course, Kamapiliat scoring a brace as well today. And he goes on to the top of the charts in the Premier Soccer League as he gets his, that is a 4th goal of this season this time around. And right now joining me, of course, it is the defeated gaffer, that is Yabo Saruchera. Yabo, tough one to take for you, for your lads out there. What will you attribute the defeat this afternoon in terms of how you lost the game today?
I think the difference was on quality. They were much better than us, but we fought also hard. We did not create enough. Like I said before, the difference was the gap was too big on quality. Those guys, they were too superior on us. Today we played another tough game on Wednesday. Maybe we did not rest enough. We didn't have the actual energy we used to have, but we will fight again.
Indeed, and of course the international break comes. I'm sure it's something that you will need to fix before the resumption of the Premier Soccer League once again.
The break is going to help us. We've got some of the players who are nursing some minor injuries. We will give them time to recover, and maybe when we come back, everyone will be ready to fight.
All right, tough luck, coach. All the best.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is Nisbet Yabo Saruchera. They're saying that maybe they did use much of the energy in the midweek fixtures, didn't get much rest, and of course Scotland were much superior tactically today, and the quality of the players that Scotland had today was a cut above them this afternoon. Well, I certainly hope you did enjoy this live broadcast here. Matchday 4 of the Kasalaga Premier Soccer League, and it's getting hotter and interesting, and of course it's going to take a short break to make way for the international break that is going to come through. Let's cross back to the studio where Charles CNN, the legendary Mabika, is holding forth to analyze the second half and of course give you the match highlights of the entire match. I certainly hope you did enjoy this broadcast. On behalf of the crew behind the scenes, my name is Valentine Mabogis. Bye-bye and happy viewing on ZBC TV.
Thanks, Vafa there from Rufaro Stadium. Yes, I'm sure everybody enjoyed the viewing, Vafa. Of course, the headlines will be screaming, Kamaldinho is back. Is he? Well, he scored a brace there, and then the other one coming from his captain, Walaza Walter Msona, 3-0. And I can tell you that elsewhere, it's in the dying stages of the game. And as we just check once again, Uche is still here, and Coach Bex is here. Uche.
Yeah, legendary CNN. One-way traffic for the stats. Ball possession 65% to Scotland against 35 for FC Hunters, and attempts on target 9 there for Scotland against 12 for Hunters. So what it shows that in terms of those on target, 5 Scotland and 4 for Hunters. Scotland were more precise in front of goal vis-a-vis for Hunters, who had 8 off target. And so in terms of the stats, heavily tilted in favor of Scotland. Yeah. Well done. Second half, they changed, they had the impetus. They injected some venom into their players, getting those goals. And the outstanding player, Kamaldinho, or like you said, for me, he was the vital cog, and he was the center of gravity for the team, buttressed by the middle of the park, where Abu Bakar as well as Mtokozi Museve were balancing the defensive and offensive act. Well done to Scotland. 3 points in the bag. They are now second in terms of the Premier log standings.
That's right. They are now second. Coach Bex, your reflection of the game.
Yes, Scotland, I think they deserved to win. They did everything to control the game from the first whistle up to the end. And as for FC Hunters, it's really trouble was when the coach accepts that the quality was different.
As we can see
in the same league.
We're checking the highlights
yes.
And the goals.
Yes, and the goals which were scored. You see, that cross
From
Yes, that's the
Chitolo.
first header.
That's
yes.
the first header. I mean,
Yes.
terrific header.
Brilliant,
And
yes. The
there's
movement, that's the movement.
Sierra
The
7,
movement,
yeah.
as the coach indicated,
Yeah.
intelligence has been shown. He is a class striker,
Yep.
and the class has been shown today.
And the Sierra 7 celebration cut short, but you can see, a lot of people, like I was saying, his critics were saying, kama clara. No. He has come back to say, understand clara. Look at that.
Ziwocha.
Yeah.
I think he thought twice.
Yeah.
What he should have done was just to shoot and see how the goalkeeper was going to react.
Yeah, B-Mola, they call him Emmanuel Ziwocha. He should have gone for glory himself. But then he didn't, and still there was more to come. And it was Scotland who were dominating all the time. Uche.
Yes, they were really
Scotland
dominating.
missing
Look
the
at
target.
that wasn't just an angle. It was an angle such that if we had really looked up well, I'm sure that could have been a goal.
Yes, it could have been 3-0 by halftime, but they couldn't do it, and it went.
Then Karma assist. Then Walter Msona, quality, cool,
Yeah, cool.
and just converted.
Could
But,
Kelvin Shangiwa could have done more?
No,
do you think?
there was nothing
There
which
was nothing he could have done.
Shangiwa could have done. So in this game, Kama scored 2 goals and 1 assist. It's not just a joke. That shows quality.
So I'm sure we'll be seeing more and more of these Sierra 7 celebrations from Kama Billiard. We will have to wait and find out, but Scotland have jumped from 6th. They are now number 2, because I can tell you that it's almost over there at Watanabe Stadium. Dynamos have pulled one back through Francis Kasondo. Jairus Kasondo, sorry, Jairus Kasondo. They used to have a player called Francis Kasanda from Zambia. I was getting confused. Jairus Kasondo from the penalty spot. 1-1. So Dynamos are now 3rd. So it's Makepekepe, number 1. Maviravira, number 2. Dimbare, number 3. Gezi Platinum, number 4. ZPC Kariba also coming up there within the top. They beat, they won 2-1. And of course, Moz 1-2-1 over Bulawayo Chiefs. Well, that's just about it. I hope that you enjoyed the action. It just leaves me to thank Uche. But Abuda pa focused. But it's always good when
My
you're
pleasure.
around, Uche.
Thank you, legendary.
Coach Ben, Abuda.
My
45.
pleasure. My pleasure.
And legend Abudo
Abuda,
futhi
Abuda.
papa kupeja ati peja atiswe kupeja. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing here on ZBC TV from everyone at the around the ZBC TV sports crew, fronted by our producers Bevan Shinrai, Stuart Shoriwa, Tinashe Manyoni, and Gina Gwanzura. Yes, we say, remember to take care of your loved ones and each other. I'm Charles, legendary CNN Mabika. Until we meet again, it's bye-bye for now.